Hey guys, my name is Cidiac and welcome back to another episode of OilTown here in City Skylines 2, where we're now looking at the pollution, not heading towards the residential areas. Oh, last episode was stressful, guys. I've never been so stressed in all my life playing this game when the developers decided to release a patch that allowed air pollution to be so much more aggressive. Now, what we done last episode, if you didn't see it, guys, we really vamped and changed the oil area industry. It actually looks a lot bigger, but there is less buildings, but it still provides the same amount of jobs. You could argue it actually provides a lot more jobs. And it also produces a lot more because there's less obstacles in the way for what it can now do. It's a vast area. We were stressing. When we say we, I mean I was stressing, but the pollution has since died down. I don't know what happened, but the pollution went crazy. I don't want to talk about it. If you didn't see it last episode, go check it out. But yes, very, very conflicting with what's going on right now. But we're going to forget that because stress over. We saved it. It actually done us a favor because it turns out less buildings, bigger area coverage is the best way to go about it. Things are looking up. Now, there's still many, many issues within OilTown that we've got to fix, mainly due to the buses. There is big issues on these bus lines, but I want to save that for an episode where I can sort out public transport once we've expanded a little bit more. Now, what I want to look at in today's episode is a little bit of an experiment. I haven't done many experiments in a few episodes right now because of, you know, we've got stuff working and we've been focusing on expanding the islands in general. But I want to do a little experiment. Now, it all comes down to cargo vehicles. Now, we've figured out how we can get passenger vehicles on the island. It's just a case of moving the car parks, which nobody seems to want to be utilizing my car parks. And I think that's pretty much down to the fact that there is plenty of availability on the streets. So nobody needs to use a car park. But we've discovered how we can bring them in. And we have plenty of car parks over here which you can actually bring over. For example, I'm going to bring this one over now. Let's switch it over. I think we have to use... Do we have to use Anarchy because it's outside of the area? I believe so. And what I'll do is I'll throw it just here. Okay, we'll throw it just there. No, actually just here, where we had it originally when we brought it over. Charging top dollar, and you can turn it off, but I'll leave it as it is. We'll leave it as it is, boys. People can come and collect their cars. We discovered that. Fantastic. We've got passenger vehicles. Glorious. But the other issue was, and it was also kind of in the background, what about cargo vehicles? Well, going through all this, you know, not just me, but I feel like some of you guys are also learning how the game works with these issues that I'm having. And I'm also learning as well. And what I've since discovered is, I don't think we need to worry about cargo vehicles. And the reason I say that is because if we need any goods going to or from the harbour, it will utilize its own vehicles. And at the same time, industries produce their own cargo vehicles. So if I find a cargo vehicle right now, like this truck here, it's returning to its depot and the owner is this building over here. So this building here produces its own vehicles to transport goods to wherever it needs to go. So you don't need to rely on cargo vehicles coming outside of the region. So since I've discovered that, I'm like, oh, okay, well, I can get passenger vehicles in. Cargo vehicles are no longer an issue. And you will see lots of cargo vehicles dotted around. But again, like I said, it literally comes down to they produce their own vehicles from their own buildings. But that still doesn't stop me wanting to try and experiment right now. And what I want to do is look towards trains. Now, you may be wondering, Soniac, what are you talking about? You're going to bring trains to the island? Technically, no. Now, as of right now, the vehicles drop the goods off, they get into a ship, and then the ship travels out. Now, I think that myself, and a few other people as well, we've all got confused on City Skylines 2 because we're so used to City Skylines 1. We know that when a ship in City Skylines 1, or a train comes to a building, the vehicles drive out of the train or out of the ship. Now, in City Skylines 2, it doesn't work like that. What happens is the cargo goods, or the cargo ship that will come over here, it's got goods on, it will place those goods inside of the warehouse, which then a vehicle, whether it is a cargo harbour or a building, will generate a vehicle to come and get it to collect it. Whereas in City Skylines 1, the ship would come here and a truck would drive off. That's where I feel like I've got confused with thinking like how it works in City Skylines 1. But I want to do an experiment. I want to see if we can increase the imports and exports of the island by implementing trains. Now, what I mean by that is, what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a cargo harbour on the little island over here. Now, where we get people and pedestrians and vehicles driving in and then getting onto the cruise ship and then going, I want to see what happens if you do that to a cargo harbour. Now, we're going to try it first with the road connecting to it. So trucks can drive in, unload, trucks drive back out, and a ship will come and collect it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to upgrade the cargo harbour to be able then to implement a train line on it so I can have a train going back and forward. Now, the reason why that's different is because I want to see what the difference is between a road and a train, because the train doesn't bring in the vehicle, it brings in the goods versus the vehicle having to bring in the vehicle. You see what I'm trying to say? I'm probably yapping too much right now, but in my head it kind of makes sense, and I'm hoping you guys understand what I'm talking about. Right, let me just sort out the terrain right now. So, I want to level the terrain. I want to increase the brush size. Actually, how big is the harbour before I do this? I was going to make this a little bit wider for a bend, but I'm thinking I might not be able to get the harbour in. Cargo harbour. Oh, it's actually huge. Right, we're going to have to do some drastic terraforming here. I reckon we have to go to about there. Right, let me bring this down. Bring this across. Right, and then bring this up. Right, this might need to be a lot bigger than I think it is. Right, is that enough? Well, there's only one way to find out. Let me just make this here a little bit flatter. Cargo harbour, can you go in here? Not quite. Right, still need to go back a little bit more. That should hopefully be enough, right? Yeah? I'm hoping so. I'm hoping so. Can I connect it to there so it's separate? There we go. Right, cargo harbour's in. So, what we'll do and what we'll begin with is building a road. So, a road connection to it. That's all it needs to do. This road connection here will continue going all the way down, and then it will completely snap there and connect in. So, I don't have the alignment set up just yet, so we need to get another cargo shipping route. So, we'll go from here and take this cargo ship all the way to over here. Can't use that because of the pathfinding, but I can use that one, that's fine. Bring it all the way back. And then just double check that this new line is not producing 2 ships. I only need 1 ship to begin with. So now we've got it set up. Oh, we need more power. Hold on. Can I increase the power of the wind turbine by adding everything to it? All the upgrades. Is that enough? Yes. Okay, we're back in business. So straight away, we now see cargo trucks now spawning. Oh, this is interesting. But this is my other issue. Okay? Let me pause for a second. Because a cargo harbour has a warehouse for storage, you don't have to do anything. You could literally build a cargo harbour with nothing, no city. And what happens is trucks come in and they put the goods in. So you've got starter resources for your island. So I think that these trucks come in, they place down our starter resources that we require. You'll see it now go in, and then you'll never see another truck come in. So, wait for them. We've got some textiles. They all drop it all off. And I think the ship itself would also drop in some goods as well. And then once the harbour, the warehouse within it has got all the starter goods it needs, then you start importing and exporting the actual goods you require and you create. That's how I feel like it works. Because once those vehicles are gone, I don't think we're going to see them again until the warehouse has everything it kind of requires. So that does what it's got to do. And we'll give it a minute right now because we've got the line connected up. We've got ships drifting out of here right now, like Tokyo Drift. And off they go. But you don't see any other cargo vehicles, which is weird, isn't it? It is really weird. So let me give that a minute or two. Let's see this actual ship do what it's got to do. Now, the only thing I also worry about is this ship is bringing in a lot of goods. So it could be that it brings in a load of goods here for this ship to then pick up to take back to fill up the warehouse with its starter goods. If nothing happens from this, if we get nothing from this, at least we will learn some stuff on how it works. But that's how I truly feel like it right now, because you can see this harbour here has a bunch of stuff. Some of it we are importing and exporting, don't get me wrong. But some of it is just there because, you know, we have starter resources. That's the word I'm going to be using. So you can see this is now taking local mail, unsorted mail, convenient. Right, this is now taking stuff to the shipping route 2, which is going to this cargo harbour. So once this gets to here then, this has got stuff on that would need to be exported outside of the region. So what would happen? Would the actual harbour itself generate a vehicle? Or would a vehicle come out of the region to pick it up and then take it out? That's what we're going to find out. So that's what we're going to find out before we implement trains. But I haven't seen another truck come in, which is very, very interesting. All right, wait for this ship to get over here. Take your time, mate. We've got all day. Don't worry, don't worry. But this will now unload, and it should give us a bunch of stuff within the warehouse, which it does. So it has local mail and unsorted mail. Mail that has to be taken outside of the region. Unless, because this is the other side of it as well, unless it's just using this as additional storage. There's also that side of it as well. So by looking at it then, we ain't getting any vehicles. We're not getting any vehicles at all coming in. And that's why I mean, like, I don't think you spawn cargo vehicles from outside the region. Yeah, we just seen some come in and out, but that was just dropping off, but you haven't seen it since. I truly feel cargo vehicles come from buildings. Passenger vehicles come from outside the region. That's how I think the game works. That's how I think it works. Because you don't get passenger vehicles anywhere else except outside the region, but all the buildings themselves can spawn cargo vehicles to transport the goods. Interesting, isn't it? It is really interesting to see how this game works. So, because that's now not going to do anything, I'm wondering, well, if I set up a train line, would the train line act as the barrier between getting the goods to and from here? Now, obviously, we have a shipping route that goes out anyway, but we have nothing connected to this. And having an actual proper region connection might change some stuff for us. So, let's try it. First things first, we actually got to upgrade this to include the railway connection. And then we're going to have to build a line that goes out. So, train. If I get set up. So, let's say I do it here and then lead it directly out. And then bring this going down. I'm not sure where we're going to connect it to. But bring this up to there. Oh, hello. Hello, mate. And then can I do a small little bend? Do you reckon that's too sharp for the train line? Now, in this game as well, City Skylines 1, you would see trains coming back and forth anyway. It's got another ship coming in with a load of goods on. So like I said, I don't know whether it is just utilizing it as just additional storage at this moment in time. But that's going to drop them all off, and you'll see nothing being generated to pick up goods or drop the goods off. City Skylines 1, trains generate automatically, but in City Skylines 2, you have to create the cargo routes. So if I create one from here to here, and then back again, Right, and let me just double check on that train line. There's only one train, which there is. Oh, yes, of course. I need to build a rail yard. I've just realized I've got to build a rail yard. How big's a rail yard real quick? Oh, it's actually quite big, isn't it? Right, if I anarchied that there, just so I know how much land I've got to terrain. Alright, there we go. Go around it. Alright, there we go, boys. There we go. And then, let me get it so the grass comes in. And then get this connected. So, what do I utilize? Should I just utilize this here? This should be fine, right? Should be fine. But yet, we still see no vehicles coming in. So that there should then allow me to generate a train. Which any moment now, we should see a train. Or not. There we go. That took a while. So a train's now coming in. Now, obviously, it doesn't mean that this train's going to do anything, because we've just forced it to kind of do the route. But I'm interested to see if it will pick anything up. Now, obviously, we haven't seen any cargo vehicles coming in and out. It hasn't used its own cargo vehicles to pick up any goods to export out. So if the train itself picks goods up and takes it out, then that's wild. But also, we've learned something today. We've learned something. So, I don't know what we've learned, but we've learned that in this scenario, you've got to use trains, maybe. I don't know. But will it pick anything up is the question. Or it might have to do the route first before anything happens. So, train comes in. Anything going to happen to it? No, not yet, anyway. So it could be that it has to complete the route first, so we'll fast forward. Now, I wonder if it will bring any goods in. That will be the next kind of interesting thing to learn, wouldn't it? What if it will bring any goods in? Oh my goodness me, it has brought goods in. Vegetables, food, concrete, beverages, so... By the looks of it, I don't know whether it's storing up the warehouse or filling it, or actually importing goods. I don't truly know. Now, will it take anything out this time? Will it? Won't it? Oh, snap. It's actually taking something out. It's actually... Wait. Oh, no, I thought it was. It's just an empty carriage. But now I've got this route set up, it's a case of now the ship understands, or the city understands, it can export goods via the railway yard. So it might be a case of the next time this ship comes, it might bring some stuff to export it. So, that's now just dropped off a load of goods. The train is still bringing goods in. It's got food and rock. So that will now unload. Will it load up anything on the way out? Oh, yes it has. Convenience food, rock and beverages. So it's actually exporting now. Now the only reason it will take it out of the region is to export it. Which is technically something it wouldn't have done in the first place because, you know, we've seen no vehicles do it, but the trains are doing it. Now, does this train load up anything else again? So it's brought in some oh my goodness me, it has. The train actually exports. So what's the lesson we've learned here then, guys? I'm not sure what lesson there is that here we have learned. What I have learned is you don't import cargo vehicles. Cargo vehicles generate themselves from the buildings. It's only passenger vehicles that import from outside the region. I've learned that. I've also learned that when it comes to harbours and trains and ships, vehicles don't spawn from them. Cargo gets transferred, as we've seen. Cargo gets transferred. It's then the cargo vehicles come and collect it, is what we see. So that's where it's hugely and vastly different from City Skylines 1. Where in City Skylines 1, the vehicles are on the trains and they're on the ships and they're on the planes. So that's interesting to learn. Another thing is this importing more? Nothing is importing right now. Another thing is, it doesn't... Before I built the train line, no exports were going out via trucks, and no imports were coming in via trucks to this. Because we don't generate trucks from the region. Even though we seen it at the start, I think that might have just been like a visual kind of... Not a visual glitch, but maybe like a thing that you initially get before anything else happens. But trains work. Now, it didn't import anything, but will it export anything this time? Not this time round. But I think it's a case of, you know, we have to wait for the ship to come back to bring it some goods. Right, I'll leave this and just see what happens. But I don't know how much is going to transform the island. That's still remains to be seen. It's still pretty interesting. But yeah. Honestly, guys, I think I'm more confused than ever. If I'm being completely honest with you. No vehicles. We still need more vehicles for the bus routes over here. So the bus depot, we can add an additional building to it, which we can pull it just here. There we go. That will give us 10 more vehicles by the sounds of it. So fast forward due, we should see some vehicles now get generated. There we go, they're coming out. That building's going to get rebuilt. And then we've got all the vehicles we need. Now, I want to save the public transport for an actual episode where we maybe integrate some other variations of public transport. Do you reckon subways are a bit ridiculous? A subway line going back? Or do you reckon I need to build up a bit more before I do implement subway systems? Trams could be a good one. There is limited vehicle traffic, so it wouldn't hinder the roads too much. I don't know. We'll have to kind of see how it all goes. We will have to see how it all goes. Now, I think we should do some investments with the millions that we've now got, the 2 millions, into some other additional services. Now, unreliable mail service is a big one. We're going to have to kind of figure out what we can do with this. We do have a small post office dotted around in 2 spots there. I reckon we get like a decent sized post office in this area. Now, I can eventually see this low-density residential disappearing. So, having a proper post office in this area would be a good idea. And I think building it around there is a real good way in which we can kind of get access. Right, what's not connected? No pedestrian access? What, to this building? Let me turn the anarchy off. Maybe the anarchy is an issue. I think the anarchy was a little bit of an issue. We're going to de-zone this little strip here, so nothing gets built on it. You can add some additional mail storage to this. And a post van... Do you know what? The more I see what we can add to this, the more I'm thinking maybe that's not a great idea to build that there. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of stuff you can kind of add on to it. I mean, I don't mind it being here, but I feel like it's a case... Actually, maybe we can build it on the opposite side of the road here. Yes. That makes a lot more sense. So that there is a post van garage extension, so 10 more post vans. And then we've got the ability to add a mail extension to it as well. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get that little skinny road. I'm going to build that across to there. Reason for that is... I'm thinking I can then squeeze you in. Now, it doesn't align perfectly on it, which is really annoying. We can use... Can I snap to the road? It's like either or. It's not like perfectly on one side. Now, if I put it there, for example... No, I don't want to... I want to put that there for a second. I want this building. How can I not move this building? How does the move it tool work in terms of moving a building? Is it this... Is it not this building? No. I'm not sure here. I can put it there, which is not a problem. But then what was the point in that road? But now the more I think about it, I would much rather... Do you know what, guys? How much have I got? I'm deleting this. Okay. Deleting you, deleting you. Deleting you, deleting you. Deleting you as well. Okay, you're all gone. You're all gone. Right, I'm building this. That's not the building I want. This building. Somewhere around here, okay? So if I just build it there, I've got the extensions onto it now. So we've got the post van garage, and we've got this. Now, ideally, if I move this a bit more, I know I'm spending lots of money, but if I move it there and I build this little border road going around it, like that, and let's see what I can add to it. So we've got the extensions for that, and then these. Where would be the best place to throw these in? It depends on how big this sticks out, because that sticks out perfectly just here. This would fit in perfectly there, but it would require me to do this. And then to place you in there. But what I do is, I kind of like make the roads go up a bit further. Is that the anarchy problem I got? Make the roads go up a bit further, so it becomes like a little bit of a mini complex area. You know what I mean? Now, all this will eventually be gone. We're going to eventually change all that. But that was a lot of hard work to implement something like that. I could then implement mirror it on that side, and we got like a nice little postal area. So that gives us some better postal services. I wouldn't say it gives us great postal services, but it gives us the ability to sort a little bit more. Okay, that's pretty much what it does. But I wouldn't say it's great. No. But it will do for now. It's made everyone a little bit happier. Reliable postal services is no longer... I mean, it's still -2. Okay, it's still -2. So what else could I maybe do? I don't want to get a sorting facility just yet. That feels like it's a little bit out of the question. We've got the small little post areas down here, don't we? We've added the upgrade to that one. We've added the upgrade to that one. But I think it might be time to kind of build another larger one. A post office around here. So if I implemented, for example, you there, add on to this an extension, and then also build said road that sticks off it. Like that. So I can implement a post-van garage. And you get these like little mini complexes that we can utilize with little alleyways. I really do like it. I like building around it, which looks pretty cool. And that's what I like kind of doing with this kind of stuff. To be honest with you, I think you could also get away with deleting you and you and you. Right, bringing that road back up to about there. And then flipping this round to here. To where I could add a second mail extension storage on. But it overlaps apparently. But if I anarchied it... Is it the road causing that issue? I think it may have been the road causing that slight little issue. So that one's got a little bit more mail capacity than the other building. But that's amazing. So I might now just completely get rid of the two smaller ones. As you now got these larger variations of them. And what can I put in its place here? I can do some maybe high density commercial. Yeah, baby, yeah. So what would that do for us? I mean, it's give us more mail rate. We're processing, not as much as the mail rate coming in. But we definitely got the processing up there a little bit more. Now, what else is in this? Unreliable internet is another one. When it comes to internet, I've only got that there. So this is where it could get a lot expensive. We could get a server farm. A server farm would be perfect. But I'm going to have to build that. I mean, I could build it there. That's perfect. What's that? It's a crematorium. Right, we're going to move the crematorium. I'm just going to move the crematorium to just over here for now. There. It's then centered between the two areas. And we're going to build a server farm. So a server farm, it's a very, 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 very big building. That gives us one tile either side. Now, we can add upgrades to it, which will increase the coverage area of the server farm by 500 meters. This one increases the bandwidth for the network capacity. Let's just see what it does to begin with. So that's what it is within the area here. But it gives a wider radius. Obviously, it means it's not, you know, the best type of coverage. But it's coverage none the least. Now, what else can we add? That's a server farm. Can be upgraded. Right, should I upgrade now? We can add in the server upgrade. And what does that do for the coverage now? It's still not green. But we've got radio masts, we've got telecom towers. Now, a telecom tower is perfect. That adds a lot more for us. Which I'm going to build just here. So that gives us what that gives everybody on the island almost internet. Except this area. To which we are going to have to build another one in, which I'm not sure where to actually build it. That doesn't cause huge... I mean, how much... Does it cause noise pollution? Ground pollution? What's it... It causes noise pollution. So I could build one just here. So as I come away, technically everybody on the island now has some form of internet connection. It might not be fast, right? It might not be fast. Which I'm surprised with the server thing that I've got in that it is not fast. I'm surprised by that. Server farm decay, but we got all that stuff in. Don't need to change any of that. It is what it is. That should give them what they need. So, unreliable internet is no longer an issue. We've got reliable mail service, which is +7. That's really good. So, with the other money that we've now got remaining, I think we got to take a look at like policing and stuff like that as well, right? See what we can do here. So let's start with policing. Now we have one little policing area just there. We're actually going to pause it a second and get rid of it. And we've also got, what's next door to it? We've got the fire. We'll do that fire as well. So get rid of both of them, and in their place, we're going to put in some high density commercial. There we go. Do your worst. Now, let's pause for a second. We're going to start with policing. Now, there's two variations or two ways in which we can go about this. I can do a small police station within this area. And as this area is going to be a lot bigger, I could do the city police station. Which the city one, I could put just there. And on it, there is some upgrades, like a helipad. Very simple. On the edge of where these buildings will be like a medium style, that will do exactly what I want it to do. Now over here, we'll do like the generic style police station, or do I do the small one? We'll probably... I mean, I could do another city one over here. It's not the end of the world. That's my coverage. I'm just thinking about the price difference means I have the ability to build this style of one and pull it just there. So policing wise, again, the coverage is not great, right? But we've got a better network of policing. We can have a lot more vehicles for it, and it also provides a lot more jobs. That's great. Fire. Same for fire. It will be the city firehouse. So if I put the city firehouse next door here, and what objects... Is there no upgrades for it? So there's no upgrades for it. So now I know the size of the actual building itself. I might bring this coming down here. And I might bring that up to about there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip both of these buildings. Is it expensive to move this? I'm flipping both of these buildings around. So the vehicles come out of the side street rather than on the main road, just to save us a little bit of traffic. And I'm not sure what I'll put there. There's room for like some type of a building there, which would be pretty good. And then for this, what can I do here that will kind of be a little bit different? So I'm trying to not get it to snap too much. So that will run down to here. Oh, I see why what the issue is now. That I think I'm trying to align something that shouldn't need to be aligned like that. I think I'm going off. I should go off the building, shouldn't I? I think the building itself is a bit funky. So a bit like that, you get the road going around it. Now, what am I trying to accomplish here? I got this, I mean, if I move the police station down a bit more, I can then delete this road. And I've got room to squeeze in the fire station. So, bring you down to there. You're cutting down to here. And then the fire station builds in just there. So we create this little utility area, this little service area behind the big buildings. Hide it away in the awkward spots where you wouldn't really get any good buildings thrown in there anyway. That's now given us better fire coverage and better policing. So we've got better mail, better internet, better fire, better policing. So the fire coverage, as you can now see, again, it's not great, but it's a lot better than what it was. And then the same for policing. Now, how many jobs does the little firehouse provide? Up to 10 employees. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. And now, medical. Because it looks like we've got a lot of people requesting... Oh, hearses. So that comes from over here. Are we filled with this? What seems to be the issue? The hearses are gathering. I reckon we need more capacity on the hearses. Additional incinerator, hearse garage. So this is just, I'm placing it where I can place it right now. It doesn't really mean much to us. That's just dropped off so many bodies. I'm going to get an additional incinerator. So we can increase the processing. I think I might have the issue because I moved the building. And we'll increase our storage as well. There we go. I'll have to find a better place for it, but that should handle the waiting for a hearse scenario. Is the healthcare okay? We have a reliable healthcare coverage of high taxes, high noise pollution, small homes, high water fees, and high electricity fees. Apart from that, I think we're all good. Okay, apart from that, I think we're all good. Obviously, schooling's going to be an issue. We'll need to add in more schools. But that's fine. That's like, you know, we're always going to have that issue no matter what. We really are. What's unemployment like now? It's now at 24%. That's the lowest I've ever seen it, which is fantastic. And we're going to extend it with some more industrial expansions. Just going down there. Provide a few more jobs. We would have provided jobs as well with those additional service buildings. And should we take a look at what's going on over here now then, boys? So... Oh, okay, they're using that road now to park on it. Fine, fair enough. This has got a lot of stuff being stored at it, but where's the train? Oh, the train's here. Is the train arriving or leaving now? So that's now leaving with nothing on, which is fine. But the ship's only just dropped stuff off, so it could have been... It just missed it by, like, seconds. So let's see what happens when it comes back again. That's what we're more interested about. Right, in it comes. No goods on it this time round. So I don't think it's a case of it will be importing and exporting every journey. I think it'll do it when it can do it. When the ship brings in something of value. So I don't know whether the ship brought anything of value in when it just come in. So we just don't know yet. So the answer's no there. So, you know, it's just one of those things. It's just one of those things, boys. Now, we're still waiting for the hearse. Has this got through the backlog of bodies? It has. There's no vehicles in use, but yet the building over here is waiting for a hearse. So I'm not too sure what's going on there, boys. Not too sure what's going on there. Now, high taxes, small homes, water fees, that's all the usual jibber jabber. We're going to see what we can do here. So, if I was hypothetically to start I mean, I don't want to grow the population just yet. That's the only downside. I don't want to do it just yet. Have we reduced our unemployment? Down to 22%, which is amazing. It's all heading in the right direction. It is all heading in the right direction. Now, parks and stuff. Do we have any... We've got the parks over here. We've got some over here. Sports parks. American football fields. Community pools. Tourist attractions. Signature buildings. Let's see if I can add any more signature buildings in there. So, commercial related stuff. We've got the Square Centre and we've got the capacitor building. The Square Centre would be good. I reckon... What, it should be placed over here? Now, I could pull it here because this is going to spread over. Like I said, we are going to change the style of buildings in this area. But I don't know whether it's good to go just there. It maybe could go over here, which is not an issue. Again, we've got a load of space to utilise. So I could build it here. But I don't want people shopping in an industrial area. Over there is not a problem. I don't want to delete any commercial to place it in. Plus, wasn't that going to be a roundabout at some point? So you kind of need that space there slightly open. It's very green on this side. That's maybe where a highway would eventually run. I could throw it over here. Let's just put it here. I'm going to put it right there on the corner. So, get rid of them buildings there. Can I be moved over by one more? No, that's it. Interesting building, isn't it? Interesting building. What in the world? I didn't even realise it provides 567 jobs. That's ridiculous. Do we have a bus stop nearby? We have a bus stop just there as well, so people can actually get to work there. That's going to reduce my unemployment down to 19%. That's why signature buildings are always good to get in. The capacitor building is a electronic store. Would that make sense to be near the industrial area? I could build it just there, right? And then what I could also throw in is the underground car park right next door to it. Because both of the buildings, one goes in and up, where this one goes in and obviously then down. And then what I could do with the road is just run that down and round and bring that then as an end. I don't think I would want that to kind of connect in. But like that there. And we have a lot of dead space to which we could also bring in, you know, for example, more of these little kind of alleyway style roads to fill in the little dead space. Like that. Which you can then kind of get a little bit more zoning out of it. I don't know whether that's the right thing to do, but it really creates this populous area for factories. And fills in the dead spots and just kind of creates this vast landscape of smoke. You know what I mean? I don't know if anyone would use this car park, but the parking fees are going to go dramatic anyway. This provides 350 jobs. Again, it won't fill them all because you need the highly educated ones, which is where the university needs to kind of step in. You know what I mean? So unemployment now then, down to 18%, 17.9, the lowest I've ever seen it. But obviously it will instantly increase when we start getting more residents moving in. So this is why I'm trying to tackle it as much as I can. Because when I start growing the population again, the unemployment's going to go through the roof. It really is. We've got lots of commercial demand as well, so I might just get that last little bit in here. There we go. That'll spend that demand straight away. But yeah, this was going to be like some form of a roundabout, but you know, it is what it is for now. It is what it is. A lot of this stuff will have to be updated and changed moving forward anyway. So, not bad. It looks like we are now getting somewhere. Very interesting. We've got a building here that's being demolished. But I think we've got to sort out some public transport. Over here, they're not happy with the noise pollution. How bad is the noise pollution? And where's it coming from? Oh, is it coming from like the police station? I didn't realize the police station produced so much noise. Yikes, I didn't realize that. Maybe we will have to move the police station. Yeah, we probably have to eventually end up moving it. Waiting for a hearse, waiting for a hearse. So the hearse is on the way. Yeah, there's a couple driving about right now. Doing what they need to do. But like I said, we're getting somewhere. We're doing alright. We've learned some stuff. Not quite sure if it's worked out or not, but we've definitely learnt some stuff. There's a ship on the way going to over here with some unsorted mail and local mail. Maybe that's where the exports kick in with the train. The train's here now. Obviously, it's going to skedaddle out of here, but we're about to get some mail delivered. We don't have... Oh, no, we do have some unsorted mail. I reckon it's just using it as storage. But it should deliver mail. Local mail, which that should be at least exported. So, is everything all good right now? Reliable mail service, looking pretty jazzy. When it comes to the mail, where did I build the building over here, the post office? Are we managing to get through the backlog of mail? Yeah, we are processing more than what we've got, so it is working out to a certain degree. We are getting there. So before we end it, unemployment at an all-time low of 15%, which is great. I could reduce it without building anything additional except the university just to make people smarter. So we do need to figure out how and where and what we're going to do with a university. We've got to plan out, am I going to build some form of a highway system? If so, I've got to start thinking about it. I don't know whether it should be elevated on the ground. I don't know. It's not going to be huge. It ain't going to be like 3 lanes. I don't think. It might be 2 lanes at most. But then again, never say never. It could be 3 lanes. It could be 4. You don't know. We'll see what happens with it. We will see what happens with it. But it would be nice to have some kind of form of fast transportation network systems going on. And we're going to keep growing the oil industry. It's now going in the right direction. So before we end, right, statistics. Let's take a look. Education. Let's base this over the last 6 months. Has been steadily increasing. Uneducated systems have also citizens have been increasing. So yeah, we're gonna have to sort out education. We need more elementary schools, but you can see the highly educated is slowly coming off the bottom, which is good to see. Post collected mail and delivered mail has now dramatically increased with the implementations and what we've added in. Public transport, you can now see what's going on. So train cargo was a big boost up recently. which led to a massive influx of ship cargo as well. So that's really interesting to see as well. You can reduce it all and take away all the cargo side of it. And ship passengers, subway passengers, which we don't really have any anyway. Taxi passengers. And you can see that the bus passengers right now have dropped down slightly. So that's from all the stuff we've had to change up recently as well. Crime rate has been pretty much non-existent anyway, so that's really good to see. Income has increased. Expenses pretty much stayed the same. So when we don't spend the money, we are making the money. We've had a nice gradual incline of residents. Population growth. Citizens moved in versus birth rate. And decline. Moved away versus birth rate. The numbers are different. Like, it's lows of 2,000 moving in. Lows of 200 moving out. So that's not too bad. Household wealth is increasing. Jobs are increasing. Unemployment is decreasing, which is amazing. We've got lots of companies coming in. Big trade happened there. That's where I feel like when I talk about it just fills up the starter resources for the warehouse. That's what it does. But we're getting somewhere, boys. Have we got any tourists coming in? No tourists. We did have at one point, but we no longer do. Right, let's end it here then, boys. Lots of exciting stuff now coming up. We've learned some stuff. We've got a lot of stuff in place to kind of grow in the future. And the oil wells are just filling up very, very dramatically. Until next time, guys, I will see you all soon. So, goodbye.